Asherah is the Canaanite goddess who was also worshipped by other people such as the Israelites, and considered the wife of several deities according to the region that worship her. As by the Canaanite people, they adored her as the wife of someone much higher and revered. In Tel Arad, south of Jerusalem, a Judite temple was discovered by archaeologists. It was in a city that was under the control of the Kingdom of Judah from about the 9th century to the 6th century BCE. In it was found 2 standing stones, one larger than the other, and 2 incense altars, one larger than the other. Standing stones frequently are interpreted as representing the presence of a deity. But you might be thinking, Israelite religion had one God, Yahweh. If so, then why have 2 standing stones? Well, it is taken that Yahweh might have had a consort or a wife. The first piece of evidence comes from an inscription discovered in the Sinai that dates to about the 800s BCE. On one of the storage jars found in this site, archaeologists found a Hebrew blessing that mentions Yahweh of Samaria and his Asherah. A similar Iron Age inscription was found in a burial cave not too far away with the inscription, "Blessed by Uriah by Yahweh, for from his enemies by Yahweh's Asherah he has saved him." So Asherah was a Canaanite goddess, and she was portrayed in earlier texts as a consort to the Canaanite god El. Since early Israelite religion shows strong parallels to Canaanite religion, some scholars argue that these inscriptions illustrate that some Israelites viewed Asherah as the consort to their god Yahweh. This is the basis of archaeologist William Dever's book. But not everyone agrees. Some scholars have argued that these inscriptions, Yahweh and his Asherah, are instead referring to a ritual object called an Asherah. We indeed see references to an Asherah pole all throughout the Hebrew Bible, a sacred pole constructed by human hands and erected in honor of the fertility goddess. In fact, the word Asherah appears 40 times in the Bible, but many of these times the word seems to refer to the object, not the goddess. But having said all that, it really shouldn't surprise us that some Israelites might have worshipped a goddess as well. The Hebrew Bible itself constantly complains about the Israelites going astray and worshiping other gods, and moreover, female figurines are found everywhere in Israelite dwellings, which most scholars associate with the goddess. The pairing of these 2 deities continued in some form from Canaanite religion. Fearing an uprising, it is believed the intellectual elite in Jerusalem, with a much stricter view on monotheism, convinced the kings Hezekiah and Josiah to launch religious reforms that destroyed satellite temples to Yahweh and destroyed the cultic sites of Asherah and centralized worship of Yahweh in Jerusalem alone. This illustrates 2 things. One, that Israelite religion is more complex than we initially think. We'd like to conceptualize it as a very strict monotheistic religion, but this archaeological evidence suggests that there's a lot of diversity and controversy in ancient Israelite religion. And secondly, this shows how ambiguous it is when you try to interpret textual evidence alongside archaeological evidence. Both bodies of evidence are ambiguous and require interpretation from both textual historians and archaeologists. Over time, Asherah and her worship were largely suppressed and condemned within the context of the evolving monotheistic Israelite religion, ultimately leading to her disappearance from mainstream religious practices. So, what are your thoughts on Asherah, the supposed wife of God? Let us know in the comments down below.